cannot begin.
Cool. All right, so this is Levelhead. This is our creative platformer. They'll be coming out soon on mobile. So to start, we're going to go show the level hub. This is where you ship your levels, and then you can see your stats that you've accumulated. So this is Seth's account, and he's managed to generate 2 hours of playtime with all of his levels. So this is his feed, which is he follows a number of people, including myself, and you can see the levels kind of coming in here. So we're going to hop over to the ones that he's downloaded before and take a peek at this one down at the bottom called Easy Does It, which is sort of our intro level for people. So the big thing about this game is we know we needed to nail the platforming, the social aspects, and the editing. So platforming is sort of the all-important thing. So it's really squishy. It feels something closer to like Super Meat Boy. But the game is actually all about carrying this package. So this is our little twist on the platforming genre. So you have this package buddy you got to carry on, almost like a companion cube, and it acts like a tool as well as being, you know, something that you have to sort of bring with you everywhere. So in this case, we have this enemy sitting by this ledge. We can go and knock him off with it. And then you can also use it to clear gaps that normally you wouldn't be able to. So you see this guy here, I can't actually make that jump, but if I kick this package over here, if I could do. And so you actually end up doing some pretty complex maneuvers. And the game also has this really robust switch and puzzle system. So this is just a pressure plate. It's one of the many switches the game has. And you notice I can't actually get across here, but I can use package again, and then grab it, pull it back across, and we have these checkpoints. And the switch system is really robust. You'll see another one here in a sec. This is one of the 5 power-ups in the game called the Juice Fusion Drive. You can jet around, helicopter, it's a lot of fun. And we're gonna go up here and grab this battery. If I can.
I'm very impressed with your playing.
Thank you.
You should add, we're making you play at a very awkward angle.
Yeah. So this is a battery consumption device. So you got to throw, in this case we put a number, just 1 battery is required to power it. So turn that on. And then we're just going to go for a ride here and show one of the things we're really excited about, which is secrets. So you can hide various pieces of the terrain, which also means you can create false terrain. So we know there's going to be a bit of trolling with that, but we think it's an important thing to be able to allow people to do. Let's go ahead and wrap this level up real fast. And then I'll show you.
And so real quick, what would happen, like, so you have to take your package with you, but then the platform starts moving? Like, what if you left it behind and then you auto-transport to you, or you just screw yourself?
You're screwed at that point. Yeah, okay. So you either got to go get it or figure out, you know, how to either restart the level or something like that. Okay. So the game is all about that, bringing that package to and from places. So here's what the editor is looking like these days. So again, it's really, really fun to do this on mobile, and it's just like basically painting with your finger, which is really cool. So all sorts of, we have about 70 items in the game currently. So there's movement items, there's enemies, there's all sorts of stuff. But the big thing again is that we want to make sure that people made levels that were really, really pretty and didn't have to think about it. So the content, as you start building, you'll notice that this switches from being rock terrain into like this cool pillar, right? But if we switch the biome back over to the jungle, then now it's a tree. Right, so the terrain, depending on the jungle, is smart and sort of rebuilds itself to be really, really good looking. And on top of that, we have this thing called scale popping, which we showed the last video with you guys. But it's this idea that as you put down blocks, they actually sort of merge together, and you can do this with enemies as well to create mini bosses. So if we start stacking these vac rats together, they get bigger, and then they get bigger again. And the question we always get is how many times can you do this? About 3 actually, because the character can't jump over these, so of course you kind of run out of the ability to actually play it. But yeah, so that's the game in a nutshell. And we also have a more advanced level here you can see called Switcheroo. Right down the and what that one does is it just kind of shows off a few of the more.
And so this rating system too is kind of interesting, right?
Like, yeah, so one of the big questions was like, what actually allows you to tell the difference between a level? So in this case, we decided to use this bar graph concept, so you can see the relative number of terrain elements, movement elements, puzzles, and enemies and hazards in the game. So it gives you a more accurate snapshot of like, what am I going to be getting into when I boot up this level? So, and they're all relative to one another. So this one's called Switcheroo, and we're going to see one of the other power-ups in the game in this level. We have invisible coins. There's these clock switches that let you turn on and off things on a rhythmic timer. This is the blink power-up, which lets you warp through walls, which is a really fun and weird one that we haven't really seen before. And then we're going to get this is called the Ignium Chassis. It's been a fan favorite so far, which lets you just punch things, which is super fun. And we added sort of a Super Smash Bros. Style rocket trail to them when you kick them off. And you notice that this gate just opened,
Yeah.
and that's because we have this battle switch here, which watches how many enemies are going to show up, and then as soon as you kill them, then it'll open whatever you sort of tell it to. But yeah, so this is the game in a nutshell.
It seems like there's not a massive penalty for dying either.
No, we
Does
want
it keep track of it and stuff? Or?
It doesn't keep track of it, but you do have your time associated with
okay.
it. So there's two different leaderboards actually in the game. So there's a speed leaderboard and as well as a score leaderboard. And so what that allows us to do is that we split those two audiences, like people who really want to compete for collecting all the coins, not dying a lot, that sort of thing. You have a different audience for that versus people who want to see if they can sort of speed through the content in a reasonable way. We also have teleporters, a lot of fun.
Cool.
But yeah, it's the game in a nutshell.
Time frame for the mobile release?
It'll be the same time as we do the other releases for Switch as well as for Steam and PC. So we're aiming for end of this year, but it's a rough target.
Sure.
We have a lot of stuff we still want to do. There's gonna be a full scale single player campaign, so you can hop in and play levels immediately. They're really good.
Yeah.
Be built. Oh yeah, that's a good point. So there's one other thing, which is that we're gonna have a few other game modes available. So you don't just build basic platforming levels. You can also build levels where GR18 turns into a moped, and now it's a single touch input like an endless runner.
Rad.
And if you hit walls, you bounce around kind of like a Super Mario Run. And you hit these speed up and slow down points. And so it becomes this game of it's a whole different game right there, right? So we're looking to launch with a few of these different game modes in place, such that it's not just that you're building platforming levels, but there's a few other types of games you can build inside of it, right?
Okay.
And the other really cool ones are going to be your sort of flop rocket style.
Yeah. We have a couple other game modes which we'll be sort of showcasing later on. But yeah.
Sweet.
Man, thanks for joining us.
Thanks so much.